You're watching SlopeEdge.
Okay, so today we're at Calabogie Peaks for the Timber Tour. It's January 25th, 2014. I'm now joined by Ryan.
Yeah, hi, I'm Ryan Wheatung. I'm the head coach of the Calabogie Freestyle ski team.
So tell us a little bit about the Calabogie Freestyle Ski Club.
The Calabogie Freestyle Ski Club is about 6 or 7 years old right now. So we're kind of growing and starting to produce some great athletes actually, and moving on to different teams and things. So, we're just trying to develop the local and this area. When we say local, it's quite a wide area, but I mean we're just trying to develop the athletes in terms of freestyle, moguls, and slopestyle and things. So it's great, rails, boxes, jumps, things like that. So we're having a lot of fun.
Sounds great. So for people that are watching that aren't familiar what freestyle really consists of, can you give us a brief overview?
So what we do is today what's happening is our mogul competition. So what that consists of is going down a course with moguls, and then in the middle of those moguls is a series of jumps. So there's 2 jumps in the course, so they'll get to do 2 airs. They need to do 2 different tricks on the airs, which is kind of great. It makes them a little more versatile, and they get judged on their speed down the course. So there's timing involved too. So they want to have a good speed. They want to have good style in their turns with good form and things. So that's great. And then they get the third component is the air. So a couple good tricks in there and make up a solid run. And then the second thing we do here is slopestyle, which is growing with these twin tip skis here and things. So there's a series of rails or box features they can hit, and some are considered a little bit easier than others, and then a series of jumps. So we have 2 rail or box features to hit, and then a series of 2 to 3 jumps that they're going to be going down tomorrow.
Great. So in the world of freestyle, you have the moguls, you have the slopestyle, you have all sorts of different disciplines that we're going to be seeing in the Olympics. Yep. A lot of the people from the Olympics, like Alexandre Bilodeau, comes from the Laurentians. Essentially, the point I'm making is that the athletes that are going to be representing Canada on the world stage or at the Olympics come from different ski clubs such as yours. So what kind of pride, satisfaction, and challenge do you find from being the head coach of such a team that could be producing athletes that could be competing on the world stage in the very near future?
I think it's great. I think with the addition of slopestyle and the half pipe into skiing, and along with moguls and the freestyle and aerials too, it's great to have that. I mean, it's great to have the role models here in Canada and things too. And we're fortunate enough to even have some Olympians coaching with us and things along with our program here. We haven't put anybody on the world stage yet, but like I said, we're a young club, and someday that's great that we could have that, and it's great to have that in Canada because we've got some aspiring young athletes that are doing really well. So
I'm now joined by James Cotter, president of the Calabogie Freestyle Ski Club. How are you today?
I'm fine, thanks. We're enjoying this marvelous weather, winter weather, and it's beautiful out today.
So what kind of pride and satisfaction do you get being a part of this kind of team, and the kind of experience it gives to the young kids and the young ones that are taking part in it competitively and otherwise?
I think the best way of responding to that is when you see the smile on the kid's face, it's all worthwhile. We have a small board of about 5 people, and then our rest of our volunteers are coming from parents and other people who like freestyle. And then we have our coaches, and below that we have the athletes. And we have a great team of coaches here led by Ryan, whom I think you spoke to earlier. And then in his team, we have a former Olympic athlete and another coach of level 4 who has trained Olympic athletes. So we can prepare our athletes to do the mogul run or the slopestyle park and actually go through the moguls in a competitive environment and do the complicated tricks that the kids want to do, but do them safely so that they score well, they look good, but they can do them safely.
Now, what kind of facilities here help are beneficial for people that want to join this club that will give them the edge to progress?
Okay, so here at Calabogie, the first thing I would say is the terrain is excellent. Even if you just want to come out here and go to ski, this is one of the best places in Eastern Canada to ski. It's got the highest vertical in all of Ontario, best snowmaking in the National Capital Region. On top of that, we have the finest mogul run in the National Capital Region, and we have a wonderful park as well. The parks come together really well this year. There's lots of rails, lots of jumps, huge jump line. For us in the freestyle community, it's one of the best places to train. And we're not training elite athletes, we are training the young up-and-comers. So what we want is entry-level type activity levels, as well as some complicated jumps and other features for them to aspire to. And so our senior athletes can be challenged by those, but we also have like the beginner run over here with some small features so people can be introduced to the sport. Because our audience isn't the 20-year-old, our audience is that 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old who is interested in freestyle and needs a way in. And our program offers that safe way in. I'd also like to say, our program is still open. We are accepting young athletes, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. Come and join us. If not, just for the rest of this season, we have a March break program as well, looking for kids who want to become and be introduced to the sport in a safe environment. We've got the coaching staff. We obviously have the terrain. We've got a great park, got a good mogul run. It's all good. Come and join us. You're more than welcome.
Now joined by Phil Rakis of the Calabogie Freestyle Ski Club. How are you today?
I'm well, Shane. How are you?
Not too bad. What kind of age can someone start in a freestyle team? What's your recommendation, and what age group do you usually start people at?
We see kids really starting from age 8 years old and on. And it's a great time for them to learn because they're eager, they're enthusiastic, they bounce very well, and they love to ski. So as long as they have a willingness to learn, they know the fundamentals, they can ski, maybe they can do a good parallel, and they want to hit jumps, that bring them in. They're definitely, they have the potential to be freestylers in the making.
Now, this mountain Calabogie in general has a lot of features and opportunities that will give new recruits the tools and the capabilities to be able to progress and learn things like the acro bag and whatnot. Can you describe a little bit about what you offer here that really can set someone apart training here over somewhere else?
Absolutely. Calabogie is almost an ideal hill from a freestyle perspective because exactly that. We've got a lot of varied terrains. The mountain, it's not just a straight drop, it's naturally stepped, which allows us to do a lot of interesting things from a park perspective in terms of how we structure that and what kind of features we can build into it and how we can leverage that. We have our mini park where we can start kids from a very young age, a very small degree of incline, right up to Parkside, which is a very full-featured park, and then of course our mogul run on Barrett Chute, which has a fairly significant amount of incline as well. And so that's always good, but then we also supplement the on-hill features with other things that we do in terms of things like trampoline camps and dryland training to provide an ongoing and really all year round approach to development, skill and athletic development specifically for freestyle skiing.
The Calabogie Freestyle Ski Club is a volunteer-based organization. Tell us a little bit about how you got involved and how others get involved to help make it a reality.
Absolutely. What we find is basically most of the volunteers are parents. So our kids are enthusiastic, and we want that. We want them to be enthusiastic. We want them to be safe. We want them to develop. We also find that there tends to be a good correlation between kids that are interested in freestyle and parents that were interested in freestyle. So we find that we've got a pretty good mix of parents that were competitive or even non-competitive but fairly serious freestylers themselves in younger days, and so this is where you get your volunteer community from. And when our kids are doing these kind of things, we want them to be safe, so there's a lot of work that goes on involved to make sure that happens.
Now joined by Miles Adam, one of the competition coaches at the Calabogie Freestyle Ski Club. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, thanks. Yourself?
Not too bad. So tell us a bit about your involvement with the club. What do you do?
So I've been a competition coach now for 4 years with the Freestyle Club. So the Freestyle Club has two main disciplines. We have slopestyle and we have moguls. And so we get the guys to do flats in the beginning when we don't have mogul courses. And those are just drills on your normal pitch slope like this. We've got lots of stuff for that. And then for the slopestyle guys, we'll make absorption tanks for the moguls as well, actually. And we'll send them all the way down the hill and everything. And then as soon as we get little jumps going, all the slopestyle guys jump on the jumps, and the mogul guys do too. And then once later on to the season, when we've got the mogul course going, and then we've also got the slopestyle course going, which is located over there on the left, we sort of separate them a little bit. And they really train towards their discipline. There are some athletes that will cross over, but they can do both, but sometimes they really just like to focus on one or the other.
And what kind of atmosphere and excitement do the people that are part of this have? What sets the Calabogie team apart from anyone else?
The Calabogie team is the best just because everybody's always so happy and so stoked with what they have. Like, conditions can be pouring rain out and there's big smiles on their faces and everything. It's a really great team to be around.
Now, for people watching with the Olympics coming up, I mean, we watch people like Alexandre Bilodeau or the Jafula Point sisters navigate the moguls, do the jumps and all that. They make it look simple. Is it really that simple, or is it a bit of a challenge and a really big dedication that you need to put into it to really be able to master it and to be able to do it confidently?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this takes years to get good at. These athletes that you see behind me that are doing really well, it's not their first year doing it. They've been doing it. There's dry land training in the fall. Some programs are actually even all year round, and it takes physical strength, it takes mental concentration, and it takes dedication. It's to want to do this. And the guys that make it look easier, the guys that are really, put their nose to the grind.
I'm now joined by McGregor, one of the coaches with the Calabogie Freestyle Ski Club. How are you?
I'm good, thank you very much. How are you?
Not too bad, thanks. So tell us a little bit about your involvement with the club. What do you do with the club?
I coach the kids. What we do is we do lots of skill practice, lots of training, so then they can move on to the freestylers. So I do the jumps and bumps, and then they move on to the freestylers coaching, and then the freestylers train for what they're doing right now.
Okay, so we're talking about moguls and jumps?
Yep.
Okay, now how difficult is it for someone who's never done that before to get in and to start learning that?
We start off with basic skills, so making sure they can ski parallel, and then most of the kids love to go off the jumps, and we just practice on their pop, which is getting straight air. And then from there we start doing turns, we start doing grabs and stuff like that.
And how difficult is it to learn navigating moguls?
It takes a lot of skill required because they're very technical when they ski.
And do you have any challenges that you experience when you're training the kids?
Sometimes there are children on different skiing levels, and that can make a gap in teaching, because you can only teach so much to the younger students and so much to the older students or different ski levels. But otherwise, not really.
I'm now joined by Bruce Chick, of the director of the National Capital Region's Mogul Team. How are you today?
I'm doing great. It's a great day. It's got some warmer weather for a change, so it's fabulous. And, it's like old home coming here. I started the Calabogie Freestyle Club about 7 years ago with a mandate to get another club in the region up and going, to have somebody to compete with Fortune Freestyle. And it's been going good. It took 7 years to develop athletes out of this club, so they were ready for the next step, and that's what our new team, the NCR Mogul Team, does. We have a place for club athletes to go if they want to head to the Ontario Mogul Team. So the regional Mogul Team is the gateway to that next level.
Now tell us about your skiing history. What kind of competitions and what kind of career you had?
I'm one of the early people in freestyle skiing. I'm also joined today with Steve Hamling, who is the head coach of Fortune Freestyle. Steve and I started freestyle skiing in Camp Fortune in 1974. We're the second generation of the sport, and we're still in it after almost 40 years. We competed together. Steve went on to become the junior national amateur champion. I moved on to the pro tour. At the time, the World Cup Freestyle was a professional sport, and I joined that in 1978. Spent 4 years on that tour. It was a great experience. It's something you can only do when you're young, and as my coaches back then would say, university will be there when you get back. And that's how I got involved in the sport. I've been in it ever since. And we've seen the sport evolve and change, and for the good. And now you see athletes like Kayle and Alex Billadou that are going to the Sochi Olympics this year. They're going to podium. These are the very best mogul skiers in the world. In fact, the Canadian men's mogul team is the hardest team to get on because it's all world champions. And one fact that gets missed in all this is that Canada, the Canadian team, wins the Nations Cup year in, year out. And right now they're way ahead of the Americans. And it's because Canada owns freestyle. We are a powerhouse. We should be proud of it.
And can you speak a bit about the fact that the Camp Fortune and the Calabogie teams are, in a way, feeders into the NCR team, which you're a director?
Very much so. Several years ago, we had a really promising athlete out of Camp Fortune that moved up to the next level, and there was no one around to help him out, and he finally left the sport. And when I saw that, I vowed I wouldn't see that happen again. So the regional program that we've developed, we both have a slopestyle and a mogul program, is where the one or two athletes that really want to go and make this an athletic dream of theirs and try to make it to the next step to the Ontario team, this is the platform to do it. We, unlike a club program that's 10 or 12 weeks, this program is a year-round program. So my athletes started dryland training on the 5th of September. I did that for 12 weeks, 15 weeks of trampoline. We started on the snow on the 22nd of November. We will finish in late March. They'll then get a break for a few weeks, and then it's back to tramp training, right back into water ramp, and then back on the snow this summer in Whistler. And it just continues year round. So that's, when you want to get to this level, that's what it becomes. So it's more than just a club, and it's a way of life for these athletes.
What's your name?
Patrick, Lindsay.
And how long have you been on the team?
This is my first year on the team.
And what do you think of it so far?
It's pretty fun. It's a lot of fun. You get to do a lot of training and session jumps and learn new tricks.
And what kind of tricks have you learned so far?
I've more progressed my tricks so they look better, but I have been learning my tricks last year. But it's just a lot of my tricks have become more smooth.
And what are your favorite tricks to do?
Probably a cork 7 or rodeo 5.
Okay, and what do those look like exactly? Can you describe that?
It's like an off-axis backflip 720 is the cork 7. The rodeo 5 is like a side flip 540.
Cool. So what are your favorite events here? Slopestyle, moguls?
I'm only competing in slope at this comp, but I definitely enjoy slope a lot.
Okay.
And I do big air if there is, but there isn't one here.
And what are your aspirations? Do you want to compete around the world or compete locally, or are you just doing it for fun?
I'd love to become a pro skier, but I know it's going to take a lot of work, so.
But you have the dedication to see it through?
Yes, sir.
And what would be your dream?
Probably compete at X Games and be on the podium.
Great. Well, thank you. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
What's your name?
My name's Kayle Reid.
And how long have you been on the team?
I've been on the team for 5 years.
And what's your favorite event, the slopestyle or the moguls?
I like the moguls the best. They're my favorite.
And why is that?
I just find it so much fun to be just ripping through the bumps, going over the jumps. It's lots of fun. Yeah.
And what's your favorite trick to do off the jump?
I like doing Cossacks and spread eagles. I tried to do an iron cross up there, but it didn't quite work for me, but yeah.
And what are your aspirations? Do you want to compete locally, worldwide?
I want to compete locally for now and maybe worldwide once I get a bit more practice in.
And what event worldwide would you see yourself in?
I don't know. Everybody's dream would be the Olympics, but yeah, it would be lots of fun.
And what kind of pride and satisfaction do you get being part of the team?
Oh, it's just, I feel so happy to be out doing what I love. It's so much fun just tearing through the bumps, and it's just something that I love doing.
And how's it feel?
It feels amazing. It really does. Yep.
Oh, 360, sending a huge. Way to finish it off, buddy. That was awesome.
So what's your name?
I'm Jason.
And was that you that just came down the hill?
Yeah.
And how do you feel? Was it exciting?
Yeah, it was really exciting.
And what kind of trick did you do off the jump?
I did a daffy and a 360.
And what does that feel like? Is that pretty crazy stuff?
Yeah, it's really fun.
And what? And
Especially when you go big.
go big or go home, right?
Pardon?
Go big or go home?
Yeah.
So what kind of fun and excitement do you have being part of the Calabogie team?
Oh, it's really exhilarating when you go off like big jumps and rails.
And how does it feel like when you go off the jumps and the rails and all that? What does it feel like?
Like it's scary at first, and then once you do it a few times, you get used to it.
And how long have you been on the team now?
3 or 4 years.
So you're like you're the little pro now, right?
Yeah.
And what kind of dreams do you have? Do you want to compete like for many more years to come?
Yeah, I want to be in the Do Tour.
Cool. Well, have a great season. Best of luck. Keep up the good work.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.